Hello, I'm Cassie,
I'm Sarah.
and this is Novel Matters, where we talk about the books we love, the books we didn't, and everything in between. Sarah, if you had to pick a fictional character to be your personal assistant for a day, who would it be and why?
This is a tough question, but I think my personal assistant would be the little girl. Can't remember her name anymore, but in Vicious by V. Schwab. She assisted Victor throughout the book, and I feel like she would just be a very good assistant because she's very helpful, very intuitive, witty. I don't know, she would just be a really good assistant.
Interesting answer. That's not what I was expecting.
No.
My answer would be Kingsley from Assistant to the Villain. He's a little frog, and I picked him because he can't talk. And he kind of just makes weird noises, and I don't want anyone, like, if I'm working, I don't want people talking to me or distracting me, so
Yeah,
Kingsley would be the perfect person.
that's so funny, but I can see that.
Yes.
But
And
I think
I'm sorry.
no.
I remember reading him, and I thought he was the most adorable little thing, and I was like, I want my own Kingsley.
It just like sits on your desk.
Yeah, and
You
he kind of just
stare
like
at
follows
it.
people, and
Yes. I think that would be the perfect assistant.
yes.
But I think both of our hearts truly say Gargoyle from
Yes.
The Night and the Moth.
I know.
So
He would have. Well, I don't want to make Kingsley upset, but he's probably my first pick. But he would talk a lot, like
he
nonstop.
would, and you would not get your work done then.
No. And Gargoyle requires a lot of assistance or reassurance. I mean,
Yes.
and I don't do well with that.
No?
No.
I feel like I need a lot of reassurance. However, I can see providing the reassurance is not fun for that party.
Yeah. It can be a lot sometimes. And with you, that's fine. But Gargoyle, he'd be over the top a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like I would be assisting him more
Oh,
than,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today we will be talking about our top 3 reads of 2025 so far, because we're a little over halfway through the year, and our bottom 3 reads of 2025. And then we will talk about overhyped books and the underhyped books. So we are very excited that you're with us today. So just hang in there, and hope you have a great time.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay. I was really struggling picking my top reads. Well, I mean, the ones that were my tops were obvious because I had so few.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had a pretty mediocre reading year so far, and that's a little upsetting. But my first one is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang.
And you just finished that too, though, because that's her third book.
It's her second.
Second, okay.
So this one I read, I think, in either February or March.
Got it.
And I just read the third one like 2 weeks ago. So
What did you like over the second one over the third one?
the second one, there was just a lot of war strategies, but instead of just being like brute physical force, there was a lot of like clever and cunning strategy behind those strategies. So I really liked that. And I really liked the back and forth of 2 certain characters.
Yeah.
So that made it a lot better for me in the second book than the third book. But what really stuck out to me was just like R.F. Kuang writes the best morally gray characters.
Yeah.
And they are so flawed, but you still can't help to love them.
Yeah.
And it was just so dark and emotional. And she has the best representation of just like war, to how devastating it is. And I don't want to, she doesn't brush over it like it's no big deal, but it's very intentional with how she writes it, because I feel like when you are in war and you're seeing the things you are seeing, you're compartmentalizing and you're like, I can't even like think about processing this right now, or I'm just going to crumble.
Right.
So she does a great job of that.
And this is her Poppy War series, right?
Yes. Yeah. What's yours?
prepared to be sick of me. But I stated this in our last episode, and then I've talked about it through a video on our TikTok. But The Road to Tender Hearts by Annie Hartnett. Haven't seen that book before getting it gifted last month. There's just something about it that has been carrying with me since I finished it. I feel like it just really encapsulates the dysfunctionality of families and how everybody has different personalities, but there's a way to make that work and love each other at the end, despite bad character flaws that they might have in themselves. It just was a beautiful representation of that with a family. It was also just really funny. I found myself laughing out loud at some of the scenes in the book and just the dynamic, because it centered around this he was probably about like 63 years old. He was dealing with like the loss of his daughter 15 years ago. He suffers from like alcohol abuse, just struggling with that. Like he got divorced but still has a really good relationship with his ex-wife and then like her now boyfriend. But he has this brother who lives in the same town, but they're estranged, so he does not talk to them. And the brother has a family with 2 young grandchildren. And the parents die, the grandfather dies, and so the children have to find like a new home. So he like adopts, like he gets them, custody of them. And so him just trying to navigate raising 2 other children after he raised, of course, like his 2 daughters. It's just funny, and the children are silly, so I like that. And then there's a cat who basically can like predict when people are about to die. So he like goes all over town to the people who are about to die and stays with them. And then he like moves on after they pass away. And so that cat is just silly. Just like a silly aspect of the book that is just funny. So I really liked the book.
It sounds really good.
It is really good. I was very surprised.
I have to add that when I can actually buy books again.
Yes.
My next one is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
I was going to put that on here too.
Yeah. I could see why you didn't, though, since it was your second time reading it.
Yes, that was my thought process.
Yeah. But that's just one of those books that I don't think I'll ever forget, like the emotional turmoil I went through reading that. And it was just, I connected with it so hard because it was just a tale of 2 sisters going through World War II and like fighting the women's war in their own way.
Yeah.
So I'm just never going to forget that book.
I don't think so either. It's such a captivating book anyways. Just Kristen Hanna's writing style, I feel like, has a way to immerse you into the storyline. And that book, I feel like you'll never be able to forget that.
No. Which is sad because it is so sad.
I agree. And all of her books, but specifically The Nightingale.
Yeah. I think I almost put The Great Alone.
I was thinking, well, I guess not because I read it in like 2019, but when I was thinking about putting The Nightingale, I was also thinking about The Great Alone on there as well.
The Great Alone just hits in a different way because you can truly see like the hopelessness in that book.
Yes.
And Kristen Hanna, if she knows one thing, she knows how to write a character feeling hopeless and making the reader feel hopeless because you're just sitting there reading it and you want to help in some way and you're just like,
yeah,
like I'm just a reader. I'm not actually there.
Oh, exactly. But you're just immersed in it anyways.
Yeah.
It feels like you are there. And I wonder too, I don't know if you were like this in school, but the World War II aspect of history, I've always loved history in general, but I remember when learning about World War II, I just found that time period very interesting and just very devastating. That is something that I feel like I grabbed onto in history class, was that time period. And so I feel like that's also something that I connect with as well. I don't know if it's just because like school really honed in on kind of World War II compared to some of like the other eras in history, but I think that's another deep connection that I have, is because I really was fascinated by that in school.
Right. I feel the same way because when you really think about it, it was not that long ago.
Not at all.
And that is insane.
Yes.
So the just terror of that happening and it not being that long ago, I think that's what really grabs people. But I mean, even now today, there's
horrific things happening.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, yeah, I guess it's always bleak around here. I don't know.
Yeah.
My next book is All Fours by Miranda July.
Why do you say that, Cassie?
That it was just, I've never read anything like that book.
Yeah.
And it was just deeply resonating because there were topics discussed in that book that I have not heard anywhere else because women just don't outwardly talk about those things. They feel like either they're uncomfortable about talking about that topic or they just don't like it to be known that they are going through that.
Yeah.
But reading about a woman who was going through perimenopause and having a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something every woman should read because at one point we will be going through that and I'm sure we will have a midlife crisis at some point. So,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I remember us talking about this before, but I'm already like, okay, when I hit that point in my life, I just need to give myself some grace.
Yes.
Because it's going to feel like my life is falling apart and I'm just going to have to let it. And then just clean up the pieces later.
Sometimes that's all you can do. It's just hope for the best. But it's funny that you say that because I also have some thoughts on All Fours. So I'll get to that later.
Okay.
I think one of my next ones for the top rated for 2025 is The Wedding People. Okay, if you would have asked me after I finished this book, I don't think I would have ranked it so highly. But now after thinking about it and reflecting on it, I feel like there was just something beautiful about what was written because it follows Phoebe and she goes to this hotel to basically unalive herself, where at the same time there was the bride Lila who was getting married in this extravagant wedding week. And you could just tell that she came from like a different class of life, and they find each other and really connect and able to kind of like heal both traumas that are happening. So I feel like just Phoebe being able to discuss what she's struggling with, but also Lila and what she's struggling with too, allows for just like a nice connection.
Yeah. I really like that book as well. I remember seeing a video on that book actually, and they were saying it was an underrated or overhyped book.
Really?
Yeah, because they thought when they read it that the characters were unlikable.
Yeah.
I could see it, but I don't agree.
I was going to think the same thing, is that I can see where their point is about that. But I feel like there's also like, do we think that they're unlikable just because they're struggling with something?
Exactly.
And I feel like you have to, in life specifically, I feel like give people grace when they're struggling with something because they can very much come across unlikable. But if they're struggling, they're struggling. So I feel like we have to provide some sort of grace.
We keep saying grace, and it's not one of my top reads this year, but it connects to our girl Abby Jimenez and her book. And she says, grace costs nothing. But I can't remember the name of the book, and I just read it.
I don't remember. But I think that's a beautiful quote.
Yes. I've been actually saying that to my students a lot. Like if I see that they're being rude, I'm just like, grace costs you nothing. And do they understand what it means? Absolutely not. But I'm going to keep saying it.
One day we'll connect with them and they're going to be like, my teacher said that to me when I was young.
That's the hope.
Really, yeah.
So we'll see. Did you have any honorable mentions, or is your list still going?
My list is still going. I do have one more that I wanted to mention. And honestly, I feel like this might flow into an overhyped book, potentially, depending on what side of BookTok you are on. But Almond by Sun Won Young, I feel like that... So it followed the main character who has a condition to where they're not able to feel emotions, if I'm getting that correctly. But then they meet this character who's really struggling, kind of aggressive, and they were able to kindle a friendship over that despite their differences in their characters. And I just enjoyed seeing that lapse and how like the main character was able to actually feel something for somebody despite having that condition. It was really good.
Is that condition real?
We could Google it. I'm gonna butcher it. Alexithymia? Oh, something. But essentially how they described it in the book is it's like an almond-shaped thing in their brain that like disrupts sensors in the brain to where you are incapable of feeling it, like emotion. And like the mom in the book, I think this was also really sweet too, is the mom was really trying hard to like basically provide all sorts of different scenarios in life for her son and would be like, okay, this is what you're supposed to feel. Or if somebody says this is what you're going to say. That way, like her son can really integrate into society without people like bullying him or thinking differently of him despite his condition too.
Wow. Sounds really good.
Yeah.
That was your last one?
That was my last one.
Okay. I have an honorable mention, and that is Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I'm still debating whether or not I want to continue the series because I think it's a 4-book series.
Yeah.
So that's a lot for YA, at least. So that's where I'm like, YA? I don't know. But it was just so good, and it was unexpectedly good.
Yeah.
So I think about it often because it's that perfect blend of like fantasy, but also there's a sprinkling of history in there that she's drawing inspiration from, and I really like when authors do that, which I mean it happens a lot at this point. So yeah, I think about that book often, but I also read it like a month ago, so
I actually have that on my shelf, and it's part of my TBR. So I'm hoping I can get that soon so I can read it and enjoy it like you.
It's pretty good. Shall we move on to bottom 3?
Yes.
This one was actually a lot easier.
The bottom 3.
Yes. Because like I said, it was hard picking out the top ones. Do you want to go first?
Yes. My bottom was actually All Fours by Miranda July. So when
That's hilarious.
Your top, I'm like, oh no. So I enjoyed the themes that we talked about. I do think that those things need to be talked about. I just thought she was a little crazy.
I agree. She was definitely crazy.
I can't say what I will be like in maybe 20 years when I go through a midlife crisis, but I hope that I'm not that irrational. And yeah, I don't know. She made some very questionable choices that I was like, girl, come on. But,
it was like watching a train wreck.
But grace costs nothing, so I'll give her some grace.
Yeah. It was so entertaining and really, so scandalous.
Yes.
I told my mom to read it. I was like, beware. This book is scandalous.
You do have to put, I feel like, a warning out to readers that this is kind of a little crazy. So yeah, but it was unfortunately one of my worst reads of this year.
Do you still think about it though?
A little bit, just the craziness of just like, what are you doing?
My number 1 is The Teacher by Frida McFadden.
Okay, I didn't read that for book club, but I cannot get into Frida McFadden anymore, especially after The Housemaid. I'm good. I don't need to read anything else.
I actually liked The Housemaid, but I think it's because that was my first thriller that I read, because I usually stay away from that genre.
Yeah.
And I guess The Housemaid just like blew my mind. I was like, this is crazy. And then The Teacher, no.
Also, didn't we talk about this in one of our other episodes, specifically about like AI books and how is she popping out so many books in a year? So
it's either that or she has a ghostwriter.
yes.
Which I still don't understand how that's like acceptable.
Right?
But whatever. I just thought the teacher was predictable. I thought it was really weird, and it made me very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And our friend Lydia was comparing it to My Dark Vanessa, right?
I think so.
Which you've read that, but I have not. And there's just a weird age dynamic that is almost weirdly normalized.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just gross.
Yes. And especially
I am a teacher, which that's a good thing that I'm saying it's gross and that I did not enjoy reading that.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, that's my number one.
Okay, this is off topic just a little bit, but this would be 2024 bottom reads, I guess. But the same thing with like Karen Slaughter books. Like we read
Pretty Girls.
I was about to say, didn't we read Pretty Girls for our book club? And that was just atrocious.
Yes, it was awful.
Yeah, so I feel like that kind of fits like maybe not necessarily the same category because it had different stuff, but just like how bad that was.
Mm-hmm. Like the teacher was definitely uncomfortable, but Pretty Girls was just graphic.
Yes.
I
can't even explain it because it was horrible.
My mother-in-law, it wasn't that book specifically that she read, but she read one of her books.
Mm-hmm.
And she was asking me about Pretty Girls, I think. And I was like, don't read that. Please don't read that.
Mm-mm.
And I hope she listened.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
My second one was Throne of Secrets by Carrie Maniscalco, which I've talked about this one before, I think. It was kind of boring. It didn't hook me. The characters like had no depth. And it didn't feel like a cohesive story. It just seemed like random things happening throughout the book and none of it really fit together.
Yeah.
It was weird. So, yeah, I did not like that. And she's hard to explain. She usually focuses on like the Princess of Greed the sins.
Mm-hmm.
How many sins are there? The 7 deadly sins?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That's what she focuses on, and she makes books on each one of those, and they're all princes, the sins.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not good, so don't get excited. Yeah, sorry.
I was like, okay, the 7 deadly sins, that sounds cool.
Yeah. But no, that's number 2 for me.
Mm-hmm. I think my next worst rated book is My Murder by Katie Williams. I feel like the premise is really cool because it follows a mom who is unalived by a serial killer in her town. However, she ends up being cloned. So like it's a kind of like maybe pilot program, if you could say that, but to basically reclone victims of these sorts of crimes and then allow them to live and integrate into society again. And they have like all of the same minds. They just cannot remember them being unalived, but like they can remember everything else. Like they're essentially the same person. But the main character, spoiler, she ends up not actually being unalived by that serial killer. She goes missing, plays it off as though it was the serial killer who she was a victim of. And then, yeah, she just wants to live another life. So I'm just like, I don't know. I was just very confused by this book.
Yeah.
And some of the premises around it. Because it also surrounded, I think this is where my confusion came from. Is they created a game. Somebody created a game about the serial killer. And so the victims were able to play. And I think the premise around it was like for them to get revenge on the serial killer. I didn't like that. I just, it threw me off. And so that book just was a no-go for me. So, yeah.
Do you think it was a matter of like how it was marketed?
Probably. Because it was also on, I think I found it through BookTok specifically. And BookTok was also hyping it up. So I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. It kind of sounds like a cool premise, but it just was not for me at all.
Yeah, that's become a really big issue. Just
In
like
BookTok specifically, or?
everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think they try to market to what people want to hear rather than like being realistic about what it should be marketed as.
Yes.
And that's why so many people these days are disappointed with the books they're reading, is because it's not what they signed up for.
Yeah.
So, my next one and my last one is The Messy Lives of Book People. I can't remember the author's name. I forgot to write it down. I think her first name is Phaedra. I can't remember the other one. I just thought it was super predictable. And for it being a book about writers, the writing was not good.
No.
And the main character was just super unlikable.
Yeah.
So there was truly nothing about that book that I enjoyed.
What do you think made her unlikable?
Well, she was lying to her whole family and all of her friends about writing this book for the actual famous author that passed away. And I thought that was weird. I was like, if anything, you can tell your family that you're going to be away doing this, but she didn't. She was just lying to them. And I don't know, she just wasn't likable. I just remember her not being a fun character to read. And it's not even, I guess, being a fun character. It's just being able to connect with them and find relatable aspects in that character. And I just couldn't. So I just had no motivation to read that book. But I did for the wheel so I could move on. Yeah, I think I gave that 1 star.
Oh, that's bad.
And then, honestly, I think Throne of Secrets, I DNF'd it halfway through.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, really, 1 star, 2, I guess.
Right. That makes sense.
And The Teacher. Wow. How about that? Makes sense.
My last one is The Book of X by Sarah Rose Utter. We kind of discussed this, of course, in one of our podcast episodes surrounding this book, but it was a surrealist novel that followed a young girl who had a literal knot in her stomach. It was just very strange and unsettling, and I feel like maybe I'm incapable of surrealist novels and just understanding the concepts of it, because I feel like the premise of it could be profound, if you will. But not for me.
I agree. I think if I were to re-rate it now, I'd probably give it 2 stars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was just so odd. Such an odd book.
I do want to read Sarah Rose Utter's Ripe, because I think that one I've heard a lot better things
I didn't
about.
realize that was by her. I wonder. Yeah, that would be interesting to read that and see if we actually like it or not.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have any more?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time for the most overhyped books.
Yes.
Was this easy for you?
The underrated, I think, was hard for me. And I would say that because I feel like, especially maybe in the last couple years, unfortunately, I feel like BookTok has kind of like grabbed me, and I've read a lot of like BookTok books. So I feel like it's really hard for me to rate underrated books when I feel like I'm getting all of my books through BookTok and stuff.
Well, speaking of BookTok, this book was introduced to me through BookTok, and it is on my most overhyped list.
Let's hear it.
It is Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
Okay, I remember you saying that. What makes you think that?
It was very tropey, and that's become a thing lately with books.
Yeah.
So it feels more like the author's using the tropes to propel the plot forward rather than actual plot devices to keep it moving.
Yeah.
So it always makes it seem like it's not one cohesive story. So I was really excited to read it because they were blowing it up on BookTok. And then I read it and I was like, why did I just waste my time? So I just didn't understand the obsession. But even now, they're still like, oh, it's so good.
Yes,
like,
I still see that circulating. Haven't read it though, which I probably won't now. But after that, I think I'm going to get hate for this. So please bear with me. I think some of the overhyped books are the ACOTAR series. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to put that out now. I read the series, so don't get me wrong. And I loved the series when I read it. However, it's probably been maybe about, I would say, almost 2 years since I've started the series, and then a year since I've finished the series. After going back through that, I feel like I've read so many better fantasy books out there with better world building, better characters, more diversified plots and characters that I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. I probably will read the further books that she comes out with for the ACOTAR series. And I'm specifically only talking about ACOTAR because I have not read Throne of Glass or any of her other. Well, I read one book of Crescent City. But then I was like, oh, I should probably read ACOTAR and the other books first. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents about it, is I've read better fantasy books.
Are there specific books in that series that you feel are more overhyped than the others?
Honestly, probably Nesta's book. I feel like I see a lot of hype around Nesta, and I do think Nesta has a more, like, I don't know, I feel like she has a lot more layers to her than like, I can't even remember. Feyre. And her other sister, Elaine. So I do like that. However, I feel like the books are just overhyped in general.
Yeah, I agree. I saw that too. I was wondering if you would end up putting that on your list. I feel like more people now are getting less afraid to say that they feel like those books are overhyped.
I agree.
Yeah, because it's been out for a while now, so.
Well, I feel like social media just has a way of kind of like drawing you in and you just being the collective of an idea and not venturing out from what other people are saying. And I feel like this book and how blown up it was, specifically the series, not just the book, but just had a way of you being captivated into the collective thought of it and not necessarily your own opinion.
Right.
Either.
I think with that series specifically, I think like the found family aspect is what keeps people around. And knowing who is going to go next. Because she doesn't like killing characters off.
Right.
Well, the characters that people like, I guess.
Yeah.
So my next book that I think is overhyped is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. This one I feel could be, I don't know, controversial, I guess. Because I feel like I never heard people say negative things about it.
Yeah.
And I'm always seeing the hype about it, even still. I think I liked it for what it was. It's YA.
I'm sorry. My stomach. I'm really hungry.
It's YA, so I took it for what it was, and it was very whimsical, and I liked that, but it just felt so juvenile.
Yeah.
And it lacked depth.
Yes. Do you think granted, I don't know when this came out, but if you read this as a teenager, could you see yourself thinking differently about it?
Honestly, probably not, because that's how juvenile it felt.
Okay.
Like, if I read it when I was in high school, I would have been like, this is for babies.
Yes. Okay, I get that.
Yeah. So
this is like a Junie B. Jones book.
Yeah. But I did read the next book after that, and I like that one a lot better.
Yeah.
But I still only rated that one 3 stars. And this one, I think, was 2. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Dare I say, Emily Henry, in general.
Did you see I felt my eyes get big.
I don't know if there's really a specific book because I was drawn into the hype of Emily Henry. I think I have almost all of her books. I do like Funny Story. However, I think Funny Story and Happy Place were my top 2 out of Emily Henry's books. But I'm over it. So I'm kind of done with Emily Henry. I think I like her writing. I do think I will give her credit here. I do think that she has a very witty like personality, and I think that really shows in her writing style with some of like the characters, and like very sarcastic too, and I like that because I think it's funny. But I don't know, I feel like each kind of book that she has plays on itself, like they're all kind of repetitive in a sense.
What was the last one that came out by her? Is that the one that kind of leans more towards like literary fiction?
Okay, what was it?
Great Big Beautiful Life. That one.
Haven't read that yet. But if it does lean more towards literary fiction, I think I might give that a shot.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
In a subtle way.
Okay.
So I think you would like it more than her others.
I might recant my statement in a couple more episodes if I do end up reading them, but
she might have felt the same way that you were talking about, honestly.
like she's over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's only so many ways you can diversify romance books, especially if that is the genre that you live in as an author.
Yes.
And she's put out quite a few at this point. And she's done it in such a short amount of time as an author too. So I could see where her readers are starting to be a little antsy for something different.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I'm having a hard time remembering like which book is what and what happens in which one, aside from her earlier ones that stick out more to me.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying.
I will say, like, so we just wrapped up One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. When I was reading that, it kind of made me, and then I said in our podcast episode that it reminded me of an Emily Henry book. And I think it's Beach Read, where it follows kind of like the same plot of them being on a lake. They're kind of finding themselves again. I think that they were kind of like nemesises, though.
Gus?
Yeah. And I can't remember the girl's main character name.
Yeah. I know what you're talking
but
about.
It kind of not followed in the same line, but it kind of gave me the same vibes.
Same.
Yeah, because of like the lake and kind of finding yourself there and stuff like the self-discovery and stuff like that. So
neighbors and everything.
Exactly. So that's, when I was reading One Golden Summer, I was like, this is kind of like Emily Henry's Beach Read.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yes.
But that just goes back to the genre of romance.
I agree. There's only so much that you can do.
Yeah. Which is why I don't read it that much.
It's my least favorite genre.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, I really don't like sci-fi that much. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I forgot about sci-fi, but yeah, I agree.
My next one is Powerless by Lauren Roberts.
Yeah.
There's just no originality. You read it, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it made my 16-year-old heart very sad reading that book, because I was like, this was done before. You just mash two books together, and you're calling it your own.
Right.
But it's literally been done before. So, yeah, that one was sad to read, but I know she's catching a lot of flack for it anyway, so.
Well, she was young when she wrote that too, though, I'm pretty sure. Like 16-ish. And didn't she recently, because now she's older, did she recently come out with the sequel to that book?
Yes. I think there's 3 now.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if her writing has gotten any better.
I don't know. I honestly haven't heard a lot about her third one at all. But the Reckless one, I think that's the second book. I heard a little bit about it, and it kind of, from what I understand, it follows like the same.
Got it.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's getting any better.
Okay.
Yeah. I would listen to it on Spotify, if anything, so I don't have to actually pay for it.
Money, yeah.
Just to, like out of curiosity.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would not recommend, which sucks because I really thought it would be nostalgic in a way, like scratch an itch from my teenage reading years, but it was just like, oh.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't have any more overhyped books. Do you?
No.
Okay. Do you want to get into the underrated?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Oh, I do have more overhyped books.
Let's hear it.
I wasn't scrolling enough. Okay. Intermezzo by Sally Rooney.
I tried to get into that and I could not.
I finished, and my mom, she really liked it, I think. It just felt really dull and boring, and it bounced around from both brothers. It was about their relationship after the loss of their father, and it just focused more on like day-to-day things for them, and it was just so boring, and it wasn't plot focused. I don't know. So yeah, I really loved Normal People by Sally Rooney, but with her, it's very hit or miss with her books. So Intermezzo was definitely a miss for me. And I don't really see why people like it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So maybe just like the grief aspect, because a lot of people relate to that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you're not the only one, because I feel like I've heard that quite a bit. And then, I tried to get into it and I just could not get into it at all.
Oh. And that is one that I would start reading, take a break from reading it, start another book, finish that book, go back to reading it. It happened 3 different times because I was just trying to get through it.
And at that point, there's just no reason to continue with that.
But it was Sally Rooney, so I was like, it has to get better.
Right.
Nope. It didn't. And my last one is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros.
Yes.
I feel like a lot of people would agree with that, though.
Iron Flame and an Onyx Storm, too.
Yeah, but I haven't even read that. And I don't think I'm going to.
You know, I can't even remember. I swear I finished it. I can't remember if I put it on Goodreads or not. But can't even tell you really what it was about now. So.
Because you listened to it, right? And I remember you talking about it.
Yeah.
That says something if you can't even remember, like, what happened.
No.
That was me with the Raven Boys. Because that was a TBR will pick. And again, YA. I liked it for what it was. Finished it at night, went to bed, woke up the next morning, literally thought I did not finish it because I was like, I don't think I finished it because I don't remember the ending. But I did. And it was just like, just wasn't there.
You're like, hello?
Yeah. But with Iron Flame, I just thought it was repetitive and the relationship so irritating.
Yes.
And it was just not worth the amount of time spent with their arguing. I can't. And it was a lot of nothing was happening until the end.
Yes.
It was just a lot of fluff, annoying fluff.
I agree.
So that's why I have not and will not, among other reasons, pick up Onyx Storm.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
That was actually a really good overhyped book pick.
Thanks. I think one of my 1-star reviews was from that too.
I think so.
Yeah. That was the funny one. Okay. Most underhyped books.
I don't see this that often, specifically in the BookTok realm. However, I think 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. It essentially, like, I can't remember exactly all of, like, the plot lines, but it's a single mother who is raising a daughter. She's, I think, an author as well. However, I just really liked Tia Williams' writing style, and I think she like rekindles her love for somebody that she had in high school, and they both had very traumatic past, and then that's how they connected when they were younger, but then it just kind of like became toxic, and then now they're finding each other again as adults. And both became very successful writers in their own realm. And I just thought that her writing style was very funny. Like, she just had really good lines. The characters were very well developed as well. So I really liked that book. Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
I've seen it around, just not talked about nearly enough.
Wow. It's funny that I'm bringing this one up again because you were talking about this book. But the book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. Oh, yeah. I think it is so underhyped, and it deserves so much hype because I think about this book very often. It follows two characters in two different timelines, and one timeline is it's taking place in a library, but this library is basically the size of a city, and it holds the knowledge of everything that's like ever been known. So it's just like a masterful blend of fantasy, sci-fi, and mystery.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to read the second book, but I can't until the will gives it to me. But it's so good. I can't wait for you to read it.
I'm excited to read it. That was, granted, I am stuck to the TBR wheel too, but that was one of the ones that I hope that I get soon, especially for the fall.
Oh, that's so good. Do you have another one?
I do. So I think V.E. Schwab is pretty hyped up in general. I'm not going to say overhyped because I love V.E. Schwab. But her series, Vicious, I don't see people talking about Vicious and Vengeful nearly enough. And I think that it's so perplexing and very well developed because it essentially follows, specifically I'm talking about Vicious. It follows two friends from high school who are like doing like their thesis, and they do their thesis on Extraordinary. Then that leads into an experiment of having a near-death experience. So they both try it out. One's successful, one's not, until one tries it themselves. And then now they have kind of like superpowers in a sense. But one of them turns evil, and then the other one kind of I don't know, I can't say that like he tries to like help, but he's trying to stop the other person. And just very interesting. I've never heard anything like that in a book before. I just love V.E. Schwab's writing style in general. I will read whatever she puts out.
I think that series is overshadowed by her other stuff.
100% agree. And I think that that's why we don't hear it nearly as much, because we hear about like the Darker Shade of Magic series and like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue specifically, which amazing book anyways, but her other books definitely are overshadowed.
Oh yeah. My second one is How to Be Eaten by Maria Adelman. Have you ever heard of that book?
I read it.
Did you not like it?
I wish that I would have looked into the like what story, because it's like basically like children's stories.
Yeah,
right?
Fairy tales,
yes.
Yeah.
I wish I would have looked into the fairy tales prior, because like of course like Little Red Riding Hood. Now I can't remember specifically what else, but there were a few that I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
That I wish I would have, because then I think I would have liked it a lot better.
So this book is about a support group for women in present day New York City, and they have all survived some form of public trauma. The twist is that each of these women are a famous fairy tale character. So it's like a spin on the trauma that would have been realistic for them going through what they did. Like I remember Cinderella being in it. You said Red Riding Hood. Was it Goldilocks?
It might have been Goldilocks.
And then there was one other, and it might have been like Beauty and the Beast or something, like Stockholm Syndrome type trauma. But yeah, so good. I think it resonated with me in a way I didn't expect, because we grow up hearing these fairy tales and watching these, and we romanticize this stuff. But it's when it makes you think that way, you're like, oh, in real life, these girls would have been messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was really good. So I think it's a little underhyped.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I really wish that I would have like looked into the or like refreshed myself on like the fairy tale aspect of it prior to it, because I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah. And it had a creepy aspect to it with the man, the lead therapist guy.
Yes.
Who would video them in their sessions, and his obsession with lotion. Do you remember that?
Yes. Well, it's because he was in like a bodysuit.
Yes. But like, even if he's in a bodysuit, why is he obsessed with lotion?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to look into that, because now I'm thinking about it again.
Yes.
Okay. Your turn.
Again, sick of me. So sorry. But The Road to Tender Hearts. I want to see more people read it.
It sounds like it'd be a good movie.
I think it would be a fantastic movie. I think it would be like Netflix level, like top 10 movies on there. It is really good. I can't stop thinking about it.
I want to see the cat.
I know, the cat element is just so funny.
I love it when there's just a pet roaming around, because you can't help but love it.
Exactly. And then a pet that finds like people who are about to pass away. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Just like a little silly cat.
Silly cat. My next one and last is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simon.
I don't think I've heard that one before.
Very good.
What is it about?
It is an epic story about two people finding love and fighting for survival during the siege of Leningrad during World War II. Okay. It is a trilogy, but the first book, I think, is the best book. And it's so good.
Nice. Why do you think the other books fall
off? Well, I think because the second book is more depressing. And you know how I feel about depressing books.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then the third book, I started that one, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I feel like at that point, it could have just been over.
Got it.
So I stopped reading it. So, yeah. Even Nana read it.
Really?
And she loved it.
Oh, maybe I need to put that on my TBR.
You do. I have the books if you want them.
Okay.
You got one?
Nope, that was it.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us as we are talking about our top and bottom reads so far this year. We will probably do this again at the end of the year. That would make sense, right?
I think we should definitely do that.
Yeah. And we can compare and see if
we still rank them like that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.